Today, Dave and I are going to compare Builderius and EtchWP, not by reading feature pages. That is how you accidentally become a SaaS brochure with glasses. Dave is bringing Builderius and I'm bringing EtchWP, and we're testing some of the parts that actually matter when you build WordPress sites for clients. The HTML tags, data attributes, dynamic data, custom CSS, and AI workflows. The lot that you see nowadays when building websites. Because the best web page builder is not the one with the prettiest demo. It's the one that you can still understand even 6 months from now. When the client asks you, can we just change one tiny thing? And there's no just, we know that already. There's only markup. So let's see if the connection is established with Dave, and let's see if we can get him in. So there he is. That looks a little bit better. We'll see how things go, Dave. Good Abend, Sasha. How are you doing this fine evening? Nice of you to join. See, does this work? Yes, it does. Nice. So let's start off a little bit. Hi, Dave. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing very well. I was watching the England match just before the stream, and yeah, it went well. How about you?
Not so good, because the Netherlands was already eliminated for with Morocco. So I'm very, very sad. No, not that sad actually, because I'm not into soccer. How do you feel about today? What do you think about Builderius and EtchWP and the lot? I'm very curious.
Yeah, so I think both of them are quite good. They're getting better every day. I think they follow a very similar kind of philosophy in terms of like giving users, freedom to do everything from start to finish. So that's something nice, but they diverge a bit because one of them has a bigger team, so I guess they have more time to do some things, whereas the other one, although it has a smaller team, but then it's they have like that passion, so they keep coming up with new updates and new ideas. So I think both of them, they are both coming up with something special, something that has not been done before, sort of. Like there are things like Bricks and Elementor, which for like back in the day, like Elementor and all of those other builders, they were more of visual, like proprietary type visual builder. But then with Etch and Bricks, they believe that, okay, you should have similar pattern to the way we have in regular also. That's different. That's where both of them come up with that idea that, okay, we don't want to start giving you reinventing the wheel or changing terms and renaming things. We want it to be pure. So your pure HTML tags, if you want a section, you get a section. If you want a div, you get a div. You don't call something a section and then it's something else and like that. So that's something I like about them.
like you see with some other builders, right? They call it a section and just put a div inside of a div, and that's it. I mean, come on. Especially nowadays. Yeah, but I totally agree with you that Builderius and EtchWP both have a similar kind of vision, only do it in a slightest different way, right? They want to give the power to the user that is using the page builder to create the HTML and the CSS, but also be very thoughtful about the dynamic data and how it will be fetched. So everything that you're used to when you, I don't know, have you ever used ACF Flex content?
I never actually used it myself. I only helped somebody out when we're trying to build out the flexible content. So I never really used it on my own projects. So I only just, he came to me and was like, something wasn't working, so I fixed it for him. But yeah, I get the idea of that flexible content where you just build like made templates sort of, and then the user can just drop in that. It's almost like building out what do you call it? Yeah.
Like a classic theme, and then inside of template parts and this sort of things. I see that the connection is still not very stable, like David, by the way. I don't know how that is for the other people that are joining the live stream right now.
Video too choppy.
Yeah, it's very choppy, and the sound as well.
Okay. Probably I'll disconnect and try to reconnect with a different connection.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
10 minutes or 5 minutes.
If that's possible. Thank you so much, David.
Yeah.
So while he is trying to do, hello Vitaly, how are you doing? While he's trying to reconnect, we can take a look at the things that I would personally love to get through during this live stream, because I think it's very important to know that. Let's see, can we do this a little bit different? That looks a little bit nicer. I don't know. Let's keep it as this then. Because what I hope that we can do during this live stream and see what the differences are in the field when setting something up, and the HTML tags, how you can add those. What's the difference between Builderius and EtchWP, and also for the data attributes, dynamic data, and custom CSS, and of course the most important thing, the AI workflows, right? Because Builderius has SenseAI, which is very well integrated with the terminal that you can use. We have looked to that in the live streams in the past. So if you're interested in that, you can look at my YouTube channel and it should be there. It's impossible to good to know. Hopefully the reconnection will help. And on the other side, I haven't looked at the EtchAI. I just set it up. So I set up the way of working with Codeex, which you can do, and also with the OpenAI key. What I noticed that there's a difference between using the OpenAI key, so it's a bring your own key kind of thing, and when using the OpenAI key, you get better output because it's using the Etch variables and the HTML, the ACSS variables. And when you're using the Codex version, then not everything is available. In the sense that it doesn't have the complete context of how it should build with Etch. So I'm very curious. Let's also hide this one, right? So I'm very curious how those will stack up and how things will feel between them. If you haven't seen Etch or Builderius, so during my live streams, I love to take a look at the different kind of page builders. There will be exciting page builders to look at after our Builderius series, which I really want to take a look at as well. But first focus on the Builderius series right now. And if you don't know what Builderius is, this is Builderius. It's built with, it's a visual development environment, but agentic, not agentic, agentic. Because you can open SenseAI, just like it looks right here, and you can ask AI to do certain things for you. You can use Claude Code, you can use Codex, and you can use Gemini as well. There's no support for other AI agents right now, but I guess that will be just the future, right? It's right around the corner, I can imagine. And as you can see, this looks very familiar to the look and feel of a page builder that you're probably used to called Elementor or Bricks. Because on the left-hand side, you have the panel where you can insert, not only, I see this is a little bit outdated because you have the components right now, but you have components that you can drag and drop in. You can have the HTML elements like the section and the container, but also a div and other HTML elements. And on the right-hand side, you have the navigator. This is the structure of your page. And a very nice little hint of things that you want to insert further and faster. And there's also a settings panel for that one to do that. But why use those, right? When you can do everything with AI. And that's something that I'm testing during the live stream. So if you want to join the next live stream, where we're going to compare Cloud Code with what Codeex delivered based on the design system that we already have, then give me a subscribe and you will not miss out next week. So this is one of the visual editors and how it approaches it. Builderius has many more things like a static site generator and also a complete release deployment built in. It's way too awesome to just explain. You need to see that. I see that Dave's in, so we can let him join. It will be nice. I see that everything's green now, so hopefully it will stay working. There he is. The man of the hour, the myth, the legend.
Hope it's better now.
But we also need to put... yeah, looks more stable. Here, if you dance around a little bit, maybe we can see that everything's still working. Nice. And how is it for the people?
What about the sound?
The sound is also good on my side, at least. I don't know how is it, Jimmy? Could you tell me, please? Jimmy was also joining, by the way, from a distance. But yeah, let me continue just a little bit, and then we can... So I just explained what Builderius is for the context for Dave. Just to highlight, and EtchWP is a different kind of builder. Do they have a preview somewhere that we can see how it looks? They don't have it on the website, which is actually pretty funny. Sounds and looks better. Ooh. So it's very good to know. You sound and look better, Dave. EtchWP has a different kind of interface, but does the similar kind of thing. I really like how Etch does this with the panels, and there's also something very familiar when using Builderius. So I like them both very much. Oh yeah, and this is also something that I would like to look into in the future, but Paul already did that. So if you're interested in that, I will post it in the chat, because there's a new static site generator, which I'm very excited about. It's called Instatic, and could be something that you would like to have a look into as well. Well, let's continue with our conversation, because Dave, I'm still very curious what you think of both of them. And you were at a point that you said that they were familiar, and yeah, your experience so far. You had a little time with Etch, but more time with Builderius. How's your time with Builderius?
Yeah, with Builderius, it's been nice. I've been having fun with Builderius because it's a refreshing change from what we're used to with Elementor and all of the other page builders. The fact that I could do a lot with dynamic data was exceptional. Beautiful. The dynamic data section of Builderius is, I think, is probably one of the best that I've seen so far, especially with their GraphQL. I don't know how many people know about GraphQL, but yeah, the Builderius side of things is really nice. I think Etch will have to look at it, because I didn't really take so much notice about the Etch version of dynamic data, but I could see that it's quite similar in the fact that they use Twig. I think they use something that's related to Twig, whereas Builderius uses expression language and some other things. But yeah, both of them, they give you more power compared to other page builders in terms of their dynamic data, their CSS, HTML, everything. So that's something that is quite refreshing. And yeah, I've been enjoying both. I've been enjoying Builderius. Etch, I only tested it for like 2 hours, so I don't really have much opinion about Etch. But Builderius, yeah, I've been enjoying Builderius.
And is Builderius the main part of your current stack? What does that look like?
Oh yeah, my current stack keeps changing at the moment.
I understand.
So currently, my own personal website is built with Phantom WP. So that's where my website is static. But client websites, it's variable. The agency I work with, they mostly use Bricks, and they have Elementor clients. So we still use those two plugins. But when I'm building sites with WordPress, I tend to use Builderius. So for my own types of websites, I use Builderius. But yeah, but for client work, most of them are Bricks and Elementor still. So yeah, we have to manage with them.
Yeah, I can see that as well.
What's your favorite stack? I know you'll be using Elementor, right, for your client work, but
yeah, especially for I work at a semi-agency. It's a SaaS company, but also works with marketing agencies. But we do the development bit, and there we're using Elementor. And I'm trying to push towards Elementor v4, and it's going pretty well, but it's not feeling that stable. Sometimes something breaks, and then you get the error message. Something happens, or something went wrong, and then you're fucked, right? You try to press save, and nothing happens, or press publish, and nothing happens, and then you refresh the page, and all your changes are gone. It's very annoying. Luckily, there's no Vimera to save you, right? You can ask, what happened? And then it fixes itself. So that's the one that I'm using for at work. On my own personal website, I'm using EtchWP right now, but I'm looking into going builder agnostic. So I have a builder agnostic setup that I can then duplicate or have a blueprint for that I can run any page builder, because I don't like my WordPress environment to be contained inside of a page builder. And every page builder does that, right? If you build something, it's not that your data is still available in another page builder. It's locked in the page builder that you're using. Yep. So, and Gutenberg tries to do that a little bit better with having HTML tags. So that's what I'm planning to do in the future, to be more builder agnostic with the data that I have, so that I can use Etch, but also Builderius to build my website, just to try it out right in the future. But also Phantom WP. It's now Phantom Studio, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep.
And for my CSS framework, I like to use Core Framework, because that one is free and usable everywhere. I also would like to have something like Automatic CSS to be used anywhere, but yeah, it's now only stuck in WordPress, and I don't know if you're allowed to use it outside. So I'm like, all right, that's part of the WordPress space and not in anything else.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's go for round one. I see that the connection is getting a little bit worse and a little bit stable. It's a bit in between right now.
Yeah,
just
I can see it on my end as well. Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess it's the middle of the week, right? So I don't know. Is it Wednesday at your end? I think it is, right, David? It's already.
Yeah, I don't know what happened today, but over here, just today, I don't know what magic happened. I guess he didn't want me to go live.
Not with that guy again, the Dutch guy. Go on. He's a little bit crazy in the head, so can imagine. Yeah, let's see if we can continue a little bit. And guys, let me know in the chat if it doesn't work. Then we can look into that. David, I'm very curious, because you had to ask the question. You wanted to have more of a look in the EtchWP kind of things. And I was thinking that we could show the differences in round 1. So if you're able to share your screen as well, I don't know. I hope it doesn't use up all your internet connection.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Then
I'm
we
scared
can.
right now.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see, and I can make changes to this one.
Okay, let's see.
Backgrounds. So we can show you here as well. I'm just setting up something, so don't worry. If I remember correctly, you guys are just seeing the live section. While David is trying to share his screen. There we go. I'll put it on there as well, and maybe nice for me to be there as well, because else you're so lonely. And let's have a look at what we're doing actually, because I also haven't looked at it yet.
Let me try to refresh the system and see if, okay, yeah, I think, yep, it's all good. So before we even start, I actually installed Novamira on both sides, and
that's cheating.
So no, what happened was I was trying to get demo content into both sides, so I just installed Novamira everywhere and told Novamira to literally install the ACF content. So basically on all 3 sites, Novamira went in and it built out ACF fields, the same ACF fields basically. So we have ACF fields created on Builderius, on no, let's get rid of that, on Bricks and on Etch, so that we have the same content on all 3 sites. It's quite nice. Yeah, Novamira is quite nice. It's nice to have Novamira on on your website. It makes life easy. But yeah, so now let's try to say the round 1 is to check the interface, right? So let's go over to the interface. So with Builderius, first we need to start by going to the settings and just choose one of these. Let me just choose standard settings for now. And install some demo content. While that's done, okay, so it's done. Then I can go into pages, and I should have some pages there. Yeah, so homepage, go ahead and edit with Builderius. And this is the interface for Builderius. So we have our element inserter on the left, the preview at the center, then the navigator on the right-hand side. And the navigator what I like about the navigator is that you have all 3 sections. So you have a section for all of your HTML content. Then you have a section for all of your selectors. So your CSS classes that you've ever used on the page, your elements, if you have any element styles, so you get it there. Then any complex selectors, you have it over here. So unlike other page builders, with Builderius, you can target any selector and style it visually. So if I want to style, say, something like the H1 tag, you just type H1 and you see it will say elements. So you can target an element, you can target a class, and you can dot test or something like that. So you can create a class, you can create an ID, which is the pound sign, right? Or the hash sign and everything. So you have freedom to create classes. Then you also see your CSS variables. So all of your color variables, your size variables, every variable you create in the root, you also see it there visually. So that's one nice thing I like about the Builderius interface. So we'll have to compare that with the Etch interface, which I'm not too used to. But then at the top left-hand corner, that's where you get to see all the pages and templates and components that you have created directly with Builderius. So the
that's nice.
Yeah. So any page, any template you've ever created, so you can see all of the templates that are created. Any component, you get to see them visually. The only limitation here is that you can't actually create a new one from the editor. You have to go back into WordPress to create a new template or a new page, or template or page. So that's the only limitation for now, but you can edit anything from here. And the nice bit about it, which I've not seen in any other page builder, is that you can open them in tabs. So I can open a new template. So I have both templates open, and I can quickly switch. Just click and you have switched to the next template. You can edit the template and go to the next template, edit it. You can open as many templates as you want. So all archives, all of them will be opened in the same editor. You don't have to like go out, open a new tab, and then you get stuck because you start adding your CSS classes on one tab, and then you forget, and you now save that tab, and then all of your CSS on the other tab have been overwritten, and all of that problem. You get rid of that problem because everything is built in the same tab at one time. Then if you're a pro user, you get some extra tabs at the bottom of the screen. So things like, let me try and zoom in. So we get the custom CSS. If you want to add external CSS, not like regular CSS, or maybe like you have a slider or something like that you just want to paste the CSS of the slider. You're not actually using the CSS to build out elements. It's already pre-composed elements. You can add them in the custom CSS. We have the custom JavaScript as well. Then we have libraries that will be soon. We have dynamic data, which you can use to any modern, let's cancel that. Any modern dynamic data that is not available in the current context. So any pulling data from any source at all.
Yeah.
This is one beautiful thing about Builderius, that you can pull data from any source, not just the current template, but that is only for pro users. Then you have extra things at the bottom. So you have translations that will be soon, accessibility, shortcuts, and then Sense AI for our AI. So that's the general overview of the interface. You can always switch between media queries at the top center. I know there have been talks recently by a lot of new content creators saying that media queries are sort of dead. We should use container queries.
Yeah.
So that's up to the user, I guess. Well, yeah, that's in a nutshell, that is the whole Builderius interface. And you can always preview. So that's one thing about Builderius, that you don't need to even move to a new tab. If you want to preview everything working in the builder, you just click on the preview button, and to automatically show you the preview. And if you want to even test out interactions directly in the builder, you have a button at the bottom somewhere. There's a small icon there that says interactive canvas. When you click on that, then anything that you have directly in the builder will work out. So if you have like a drop-down menu or something like that, anything that is JavaScript will work directly in the builder, as long as you have this interactive setting turned on. So I can just disable it, and now JavaScript will not really run in the builder anymore. But that's Builderius. So now we'll need to see how Etch compares in terms of the builder.
Yeah. I think the way that Builderius does this is really nice. It feels familiar, and especially with the tab things, it feels very nice that it's built in. One thing is that you are using CSS directly in the template, right? So it's not available on all pages instantly, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
So it depends on how you decide to. So by default, if you are writing the CSS yourself, by default it's set to global, so it goes across all templates.
Mm-hmm.
But you can switch it to template level CSS so that it only works on the current template. But then if you're using Sense AI or any of these AI tools to build out the CSS, those tools are trained to be like more, how do we put it, composed into one section. So they write the CSS in that current entity. They don't write it globally because they believe that they don't want to touch any other part of your website. So that's why the Sense AI will always write the CSS on a template level. But if you are writing the CSS yourself, by default, it's set to global unless you change the template yourself. So yeah, that's it.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, it's good explanation. Thank you for that. And now I understand more why they made that the decision, and that you have those options.
Yeah.
So we can switch to this one. Let's go there. And this is Edge, what we're looking at. First off, it's good to know, to understand how you get here, right? So let's go back to the editor. Yes, I pressed it. Looks like it doesn't work. Let's go there. I'm trying to use the Codeex browser, but it looks like it doesn't want me to. Maybe if we hit save. There we go. Oh. WP admin. There we go. So if you want to launch Edge, there are different ways of doing that. One is going into a page and then add a new page where you can press the Edit with Edge button, but there's a different way because Edge wants to take over the whole screen. So instead of just doing that in a page builder, I don't know. I don't know if I can keep working inside of here. So we're going to open up the backup, and that's the Vivaldi browser. Let's go there. There we go. So another way of launching it is by pressing Launch Edge, and then you have everything in there. But you see some kind of core paragraph, quote, and that sort of things in here, which are the core blocks. And although Kevin said, if I remember correctly at first, that you will see all the Gutenberg blocks also in Edge and are able to also edit them. If I remember correctly, maybe I misunderstood, it's not possible to do that. So that's why you see the core block. There is an extension that you can buy in the Edge community. Someone has built something so that the blocks are available. But for the rest, we have a way of adding elements at the bottom right here. And when you press it, there will be opening up a panel. You see that there's the HTML, your CSS. If you have added a selector, you have to select something first. So, and it cannot be the div selector, right? And then you also have the possibility to open up JavaScript. So you see the similar kind of thing that you have all your containers and sections below here. You have your structure panel on the right side, but you can also add attributes, and that's over here in the element. Then you also have a chat option, so there's a lot of options there. Now, one question you had is, where do I set my styling? Where can I manage my global stylings, right? So those are set in the Style Manager. So here you have the selectors, and that's the ones that you have added. You have the variables that you've added and the style sheets. And in the style sheets, you can create, as you see right here, add your global styles that you want to reuse time and time again. If you have a very specific reset thing that you want to do, then you can add it in here. And custom media definitions are the add custom rules. Never used them. This is also new for me because I haven't opened Edge in a while. But yeah, this is the place where you add the custom style sheets that needs to be on every page. Yeah, like I said, here you have your HTML and CSS, and if you want to change this because you don't need the JavaScript, you can go to the icon, but also make changes in showing and hiding panels because we don't need this one. We want to have the structure. The element could be reasonable because then you can add attributes, but that can also be done inside of the editor. So that's where I believe Edge really shines, right? You can add in anything you want, like you're writing normal HTML code, and it's there. if you then add like something like Watson, it doesn't like that, right? So let's go in here. Let's add a link, and if I remember correctly, Control Enter. Yeah, we can add button dash primary. My ACSS is also a little bit rusty, so forgive me if Kevin Geary is watching this after the live stream. He's like, "No, Lex, this is not how you should do it." I'm sorry, everybody. But here you have added the CSS, and as you can see, it's reflected in the builder as well. It is set on our div, but we want to set it on our link, and there we go. So you can directly manipulate things in your HTML CSS like you're used to when using an IDE. And here you can select them. So you have the structure panel. If I remember correctly, they removed the settings panels, and instead you have what they call a mini GUI. I did have a fancy zoom in kind of thing that you have, Dave. So I have to control scroll.
Yeah.
And it is right here. Maybe I should look into it in a second. If it's your turn, I will try to set it up. But in here you have the option to change the background color and that sort of things. So if it's now background color ultra white, but if we want to make those changes, we do that in the CSS itself. And they are quick helpers for how you can set up. So color secondary, and here you have an overview of all the things that are available. And we say dark, it will replace the normal one that's set by ACSS with the one that we set right here in the classes. So that's a very lovely way of working. And that's basically it for the builder. Just matching what Builderius does, right? It also has loops, it has if conditions, you can insert elements. If I remember correctly, those are also for components. You have actions for saving, pages, and selectors. Remember, yeah, if you create a component, you can add them as well through this panel, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that's, something happened.
But yeah, that's actually quite nice. I like the fact that you can enable and disable
are you still
parts
there?
of the... Yeah, I'm here.
Crashed.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So yeah, I like the fact that with Builderius or with Etch, you can disable and enable different components or different parts. That's a really nice feature.
Suddenly my browser crashed.
Oh no.
I don't know what happened, but we're back.
Okay. Yeah, I like how Etch you can disable different parts of the builder, because that's one thing I would really like to disable the CSS UI panel in Builderius. But that's for later. And yeah, I like that context menu that you keep popping up to insert the the classes, the elements, and all of that. I see that context menu. That's a nice feature. I remember I used to see that something not exactly the same, but something similar with the Bricks Forge terminal. That's what I was using with the Emmet symbol to be able to add elements. I was using that with Bricks, and you also have that command UI type system where you can easily jump between pages. So those are I like that whole command palette. The Etch can also, or like Builderius can also integrate that into Builderius. That would be nice.
Yeah, for sure. That will be more aligned with what you're used to when using the page builds that we already have, right?
Exactly.
Even Elementor and Gutenberg has that. If you press Ctrl K when you're using WordPress panel itself, it will open up the panel and you can go to pages and that sort of things. And Elementor has that as well, that you can press Ctrl E and then you can navigate through all the websites and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's becoming more and more a common feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add to this for the section?
No, I think I missed out that in Builderius as well, you can add your attributes and all of that, but you have to add them with the UI because Builderius are more focused on visual rather than code. So they do visual first and then code as an add-on. So if you want to add your data attributes or any of your classes, you have to do them visually. You can't just type it out directly in the HTML. They haven't added that HTML direct element that you can edit. But I don't know. I'm in between
Edge,
in
you
that.
mean?
I don't know. I mean, in Etch, you can directly add your HTML tags and then the attributes directly in code. Whereas with Builderius, they are more visual first, so they don't believe in so they don't believe in writing the code of the HTML itself. You have to add an element from the element inserter, then you add your attributes in let's see if I can show an example. If you switch back to
let
my
me
screen.
share your screen first. There we go.
Yeah, so like let me in a little bit. So like in Builderius, if you want to add an HTML element, you have to go to the inserter and then you have to add your section. Then if you want to add an attribute, you come to the visual panel, to the content area, then go under attributes, and that's where you can add your attributes, like any kind of attribute, area, label, or anything you want, but you have to do it visually. They believe it's a visual development environment, so they believe visual first, then you can also, maybe in future, they will introduce the way we can write the HTML directly. I don't know. What do you think? Do you prefer writing your HTML directly, or do you prefer using a UI panel to add your HTML content?
And this is a very good question. I think the panels can be very useful if you're using something like advanced themer build, right? The grid builder. If you have to manually write that down and also add the HTML elements for that can be very tedious. But if the builder can solve that because you just add a grid or something like that, and it creates all the layouts for it already, or the HTML tags, and then the CSS as well, it can speed up the way of building. But as none of the page builder really helps me with really speeding up the building, and I'm old school, right? So I've built a lot of HTML websites. I came from back way then, when you have tables where you created layouts instead of using CSS. CSS didn't exist back then. And when it existed, it was using float, and then you have to clear both, that area.
I remember. It wasn't fun.
It wasn't fun at all. And then you had to create exclusions for Internet Explorer and that sort of things, because if you got it working in Firefox, good job. And then you open up in Internet Explorer, it was like horrible. It was like
then you have to add all of the prefixes. You say, -ms if you want to use for Edge or for Internet Explorer. Then for Chrome, you use a different prefix. For Firefox, you use a different prefix. For Opera browser, you use a different prefix, and like 4 prefixes for each CSS you need to add. You need to add about 4 different prefixes just to make sure that all browsers support it. It was a nightmare.
And then you for Internet Explorer, I think it was the worst one, because you needed 3 different ones, right? One for EA7, one for EA8, one for EA9, and then you had Edge. I have a good question from Vitaly here. Nice of you to join, Vitaly. Can you use your own CSS framework in Edge? If I remember correctly, you can do that. And when you use your own framework, you need to set it up in the Style Manager. You have your variables, and you need to add it inside of the roots. And when you do that, it will be available throughout the website, and you can use it in the selector as well with the --. I haven't tested it out yet because it has been a long time. So we can just try it out, right?
I think you need to switch the screen.
Oh yeah, it's nice if I show my own screen, right? So here we have the style selector. Thank you, Dave. And we can. Did you know that you could write something like this, and this is also a valid color? But let's add a color of hot pink, which, by the way, is Kevin Powell's favorite kind of color. And when you hit save, we have a variable named Lex. When we go back into our styles, we go into our, let's go into our button. Here we have the selector and minus. We need to put it somewhere, right? So color minus Lex. There we go. It will out-wrap and it's in there. So you can use other CSS framework besides Edge because you can set up the variables inside of the builder itself. Can you see all selectors, etc. available? Yes, you can. That's in the Style Manager. You can see the selectors. Here are the selectors that are available. And as you can see, I created a button. I'm not using it. So I can delete it and it's gone. Same goes for main. It's in there, but if I'm not using it, you can just remove it, hit save, and it's done. So you're able to do that as well. By the way, I just found out I can zoom in like this. Woohoo! It's very big. And I get nauseous by all the movement, but it's available at least. And you also have the style sheets and that sort of things. Tag it reviews, please zoom in. Yeah, that's what we did. Hold on, but you just add custom CSS, right? It is not substitution. It is just addition, right? I'm cheating a little bit, to be fair, Vitaly, because I have installed ACSS. And if you're not having ACSS, you have nothing, does not go anywhere. No, if you have something already installed, for instance, ACSS, you are able to make changes, but it's within the framework of ACSS. You are also able to not use it as ACSS. And if you want to do that, we can do that real quick. We can go back to the... But I mean, if you're going to look at the Kevin Geary stack, then ACSS is part of it, right? Just like frames is. So we can deactivate it. When we launch Edge in here, you see that nothing is set, right? Everything is gone. Maybe we can do a quick core framework setup. So we go open up the core framework, open up an editor, which, by the way, will be free in the future. So if you ever wanted to have your own core framework hosted on your own website, you can do that. I don't know when, but they will release something for that. Let's see. Here we have all the stuff that we want to have in there. Just copy this. Go back in Edge. We have our style manager. Like I said, we have variables. Here we have the root. Paste it in. Oh, damn it. The bookmarks. I hope you didn't see my porn collection sites. So now we have our own, variable kind of things. So if we now go in here, I don't know which one I have set and which one I haven't. If we go in here and we say color again, minus primary, there we go. There it is. These are all coming now from... no, those look like ACSS variables still. Maybe I have to reload this. Color primary. Where is this from? I don't think they will be using this kind of thing, right?
No.
Curious. Primary.
I think this is one area where Builderius shines, because with Builderius, the moment you put in any CSS into the builder, then you get the autocomplete. So you always get auto for any variable or any class that you add in the builder.
Yeah.
Rather than having to guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have the lightness variants, but they are using HSL A, as we can see right here. And it looks like Edge is now looking at automatic CSS. I don't know, can we disable it somehow? Because we're using our own kind of things, right? Style Manager. Did we hit save for the variables? Default, we can add another collection. That's not what we want. Background. Secondary. It still tries to use ACSS coloring, but that's not available right here. So yeah, perhaps it is not. I wonder if I set it up right or not. I was expecting it to use the variable selectors that we have added, but it feels like it's still using the ACSS settings instead of my own variables. So that's an answer that I can't answer right now. OpenCSS, Forest Panel, memorize one from Go framework. Try to search to, yeah, still ACSS. Yeah, indeed. It still feels like ACSS, right? So very good question. It could be that I set something up or needed to change something before that happens, before the change happens. But yeah, it is something I can't answer right now. This is something that maybe Kevin Geary can answer in after the live stream if he is watching this. Let's go into side of the styles, and I will remove the variables for now, so that we can use the Geary stack. All right, so that was the HTML and the UI interface. For the next section, where do we go right now? Should we try to add a section and build something similar?
Okay, let's see. Where's the... Yeah, I didn't have anything planned. So do we have any nice... I guess we could.
Or do you prefer to do something else? It's also fine, right?
Okay, yeah, let's just try with the next thing will be probably the... So let me first show off the CSS bit here. So yeah, then we can continue.
All right, so I'll show this on stream. Yeah. So we're now looking at your screen.
Yeah, all right. So the same thing we're trying to do, where one thing I like about the Builderius in terms of their CSS is the fact that everything has autocomplete. So for example, because we've added our CSS variables somewhere, if I search for color, and because so now we see we have base and all of these colors that come from the Builderius CSS framework. If you want to access it in the builder, I don't have to remember the name of the CSS of the variable. I can just come to my, let's say, my container. I go into styles, and under the... one thing I would like here is for them to add something like a search, so that I can easily just search through this UI, because I get confused when I see a lot of text. Yeah. But yeah, so we can come to the colors, and in multiple ways you can just do double hyphen, and you get access to all of your variables visually. You don't have to remember the name of the variable. You just see all of your color variables automatically. Then if you also want to write it in code, you can go at the top, you can convert from the UI panel to the code panel. And even here, you can still see the variable. So let's say color, right? Yeah, color. So you can see all of your colors there. It has autocomplete for every variable that is on the website. It's not like you have to start remembering the name that, oh, was it color base X, or was it, what was it? You just put it there and it autocomplete with the color. What color was this? Why is it not showing anything? Let's just put a pattern of 40, don't know. Why is the base color? Okay, let's go to primary then. So color, primary. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, because the gray 0 was basically white, so that's why nothing was shown on the screen. But yeah, you get the autocomplete. Whether you're writing it in code or you're using the UI, there's autocomplete. And if you go and say you want to use your own CSS framework, so let's say core framework, let me go ahead and copy the CSS as well. And I will to add your own CSS framework, you go into selectors, then you click on the CSS panel, then you go to all CSS, and you just replace the CSS that was there before with your new CSS. And now you have your core framework CSS added. The only thing I would need to do is, it doesn't really like having all of these selectors together, so I'll just delete all of the other selectors. And that's it. Save. And now we can access these new colors in the builder. So I can go into my container and I will delete the old variable I had. And now if I say I don't need to write var, just double hyphen color, and you can get all of your colors. So let's say accent, and we get our accent color, which was greenish. Yeah, I think if I go away from these colors, yeah, that was the accent color was green. So that's the nice bit about Builderius. At the moment you put in your CSS into the CSS area, the global CSS area, it will automatically be picked up both in code and in the visual panel. So if I go into my code panel,
there was something that I tried to do, I think.
on my own end, I'm getting echo.
Still?
Yeah.
Then I go leave this one. I was trying to set up something. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Now I can hear it well. Okay. So the same thing. You get your colors, and in code you always get that your variable of your colors. So you just double hyphen, and you get all of your new colors. Now they will just automatically be picked up in the builder. So color primary color, which is in the core framework. So that's one thing about the colors. That's one thing I like about Builderius, that it always picks up because everything is supposed to be self-contained. So the moment you put in your CSS, it will automatically pick it up. If you put in your HTML, it will automatically pick it up. If you put in any class name or any attribute selector, it will automatically show up under selectors. So you can always go to that selector and update the selector to whatever you want. But these are all selectors that came from core framework. It will automatically just pick all of your selectors out from your global CSS and show it up in the builder, and you can edit it, you can remove it. So always that visual and CSS, visual and code synced together, so you can pick whichever one you want. That's one nice thing I like about the CSS in Builderius. But the next thing we just test out is the dynamic data portion. So we'll try to see how each builder pulls dynamic data. So for example, let me just get rid of this archive section and say we are in the blog index. So with Builderius, once you are in a template, it will automatically pick up all data that is related to that template. So anything that relates to the template, so your post title, your featured image, your whatever that you have for that template, it will automatically pick it up visually. You don't have to write any code for it. So for example, if I want to get let's go to a single page template, so like the home page. So now that I'm in the home page, if I want to get the title of the home page, all I have to do is just add in a section, then add in my heading, and within the heading, I'll go ahead and use dynamic data. It has this dynamic stack icon that is present in most page builders. So just click on that icon and you get a list of all your dynamic data. So I can just search for title of my post. And if you get the post title, oh yeah, I'm using a link instead of a heading. My bad.
Yeah, just like you're used to with setting up the dynamic data inside of Elementor. You also have the stack icon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the advantage of using this version is that you can have multiple, right? With Elementor, you can just select one element for one element. So you have the H1. You can only set the post title, but it looks like you can add different ones in here.
Yeah, you can add post title, then maybe the excerpt. Let's say the excerpt, and we want it to be year 55. Just add that. Oh, there's no excerpt. Sorry, the homepage has nothing. So yeah, but you can. Let's just use the date. Yeah, the date. So you can literally just like that. Keep adding multiple dynamic data compared to Elementor. Elementor was quite limiting. That's why I had to get dynamic shortcodes and dynamic content for Elementor. That opened up a wide door for using dynamic data in Elementor. I highly recommend getting one of those plugins whenever you want to use dynamic data in Elementor. Even in their current V4, it's still the same limitation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, why? Bricks allows multiple dynamic data. Builderius allows multiple dynamic data. Why does Elementor have to restrict you so much? And they keep referring back to security reasons, and I'm not sure how come Bricks and Builderius are able to overcome that security issue, but Elementor cannot overcome it. That's why they are restricting us so much that it's hard to do anything. I don't know.
It's a security thing. That's something I haven't heard before. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they restrict what can go in there because into the editor, because they say is cross scripting or whatever. I can't remember what they called it, but they heavily sanitize the input. So that's why very limiting. Even with the V4 elements, that is even worse. They've made the restriction so bad that it can't really do much inside of the text area.
That's actually way too funny. And then people resort to using shortcodes, which in my opinion is even less secure, or creating their own, right? I mean, if you're using dynamic shortcodes, I can see that there's a whole team behind that trying to optimize it and keep it as secure as possible. But you can also create it yourself, so people will resort to something different and create their own shortcodes to put in content because Elementor is limited. That's what we did actually at my previous job when we had multiple dynamic tags that we needed to add to for example, the H1. So yeah, if people want, they still circumvent the system, and then you get even a worse thing.
Yeah. So how does it work in
it works kind of similar. Let's see. Let's change the screens. So here we are. I can zoom in a little bit more. If we want to add something, we can add a section. We have a heading. And inside of the heading, we want to add a dynamic data kind of thing, right? Maybe we want to go through posts. Let's see. If I remember correctly. Now I filter out my structure, but that's always useful to have, by the way. So if we have a heading, we can add a loop, and in the loop, you can put a lot of HTML elements. So you do need to know a little bit how that works. It's very specific. Put it inside of the loop. And in the loop, here you have the PHP query. So it's kind of similar to how GraphQL works. Only this time it is using the PHP query that you usually write inside of your what's called your PHP functions or that sort of things. So you see here that it loops through posts, and as a item instead of an item, you can rename it to something that you can use. And then in here, I don't quite remember if it's like this. Post title should be something like that. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, just one tag. Yeah.
So this is how you add dynamic data inside of Edge. But it looks like it has erased the whole HTML element. Oh no, it's inside of the the heading. So that's also something that you can do. The text is separate from the heading, so you can put it anywhere. But that's content H2. Yeah, now it's all connected again. So there you go. That's how you actually do it. And if you want to add something else, you post date. Or is it something different? Yeah. There we go, date and time. And then you can use some of the date formatter, but I don't know that by heart. So let's go to documentation, which is also very good from Edge. That it has very clear documentation on what you can't and can't do. Let's see, date. How is that called? Let's look at date. Comparison modifiers, so you can add comparisons, but we're looping through dynamic data. So loops, basic loops, there we go. We have the loops that we are going through. Yeah, you can even fetch the featured image, excerpts, that sort of things, and it will all be inside of the loop. You can do all crazy science things. Look at this. This is the query, and looks very similar, if you ask me, to GraphQL. A bit limited, perhaps, because you have one post type that you are fetching, and if I remember correctly, you can fetch multiple in Builderius because you're using GraphQL.
Yeah, I think with Edge as well, you should be able to query multiple, because it's using the what's it called, the WordPress PHP function, so you should be able to query multiple
posts.
Yeah.
I see. So then it's just my limited knowledge on how you do that. But yeah, I can't find it right now. It's fine. You have a modifier that changes the date output. It's more into the code and more into perhaps what you're used to if you ever programmed classic themes with ACSS flexible, or if you have ever used Twig or Mustache. Twig is a templating system. I've used that in the past as well a lot.
Yeah, I think many of the WordPress dynamic data systems are sort of based on Twig internally, or they might change some of the expressions, but it's still based on Twig language.
Yeah. All feels kind of similar, right? Yeah. I think so as well. And for JavaScript, you have what's called Mustache, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there was
Mustache. JavaScript. Yeah,
here's just saying bye to Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you for joining in.
Yeah, thank you for joining, Jimmy. But yeah, that's basically what I do for the dynamic data parts.
Yeah, I think this is one area where Builderius kind of shines, because Builderius is visual, so you don't really need to remember all of that information. You have it visually. You put in the dynamic stack icon. You don't have to write WP. No, sorry. I think with Edge you write this dot title or something like that. I can't remember how you write it in Edge. With Builderius.
Yeah, what you basically get is if you ever used an API, you actually get an object of everything that's in there. So for post, we're looping through the post, and this is the post output. So here you see what the ID is in as an object inside of the post object. You have the title, you have the slug, you have the excerpt, that sort of thing. So everything is available right here. I do understand what you're saying, that you need to remember what you're setting up. So yeah, that definitely is way easier in Builderius.
Yeah.
If we type in? Oh, damn it. What happens? No, I don't want you to share that. Excerpt.
Yeah.
We have the post excerpt. Yeah, you can loop through everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, one thing that I really like about Builderius, about Etch, if you add another section and you add a heading, you add an image and that sort of things, you can just rename it in here, right? So if you really want to use the geary way of working, right, with the BAM method, then it's really awesome for that one. You can have, for instance, your hero, maybe not like that hero, then you have your title, then you have your image. Image. I just call this image, and then this is the real image, and then this will be lead. I think this functionality is really easy, awesome, that you can just generate BAM classes, right? With right-click context, and we'll just add all the classes in here based on your hero section selected. The title, hero image, hero lead. I mean, if you really want to use this kind of thing, then yeah, it's really awesome to do that and being able to do that. Speaking of which, I've seen a video from the guy from Webflow. What's his name? Oh no, you see everything that I'm looking at. Damn it. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. You can see my whole fetish over UI kind of things. This one, Timothy Ricks. And the current state of Webflow. No, this one. Whew. He says BEM classes, but it's BAM classes. And if we go into what he is setting up, he's setting up a scope. So you can create scopes, and instead of using BAM classes, because you need to be very specific for every element to have a specific class. If you're using something like components, it's not needed, right? And you can do something similar when using scope. Scope allows you to create a hero scope. So everything that then is generated is only inside of the hero class. And then, because you can use nested elements, you can say, all right, the content is something that I reuse on every page. And there's a default set that we want to use for the content. For instance, the font size, the line height, that sort of things. And then you can say, all right, but for this specific class, the hero, you need to self-align it to start, so that it's left aligned, right? But only do that if the next class doesn't contain underscore components. So here he's writing the next component, which is a card component that can be used inside of the hero component. If that also uses an image, it doesn't matter, because it has underscore component, it doesn't add the aspect ratio that's set right here. So that's a really nice way to use the cascading style sheet that we're used to, but then in a different way. I think that's a very interesting way of doing that.
Yeah. I think this is going to be really nice and will save us a lot of specificity issues, because people using CSS nesting, they have a lot of specificity issues and all of that. But with this at scope, it's going to make life easy and will reduce our use of BEM classes, which I don't know if you watched Dave Foy, where he said that sometimes we don't need BEM classes. I think it was over popularized that BEM classes are fundamentally important, but CSS is so vast and so beautiful that it has so many layers that you have different ways to approach whatever you want in CSS. If you want to use BEM classes, you can use that. If you want to do cube CSS, you can do that. If you want to use Tailwind CSS, I know a lot of people hate Tailwind, but if you want to use Tailwind CSS, it's there. It's possible. Because CSS is so it has different layers to CSS. You have so many things at layer, at scope, at media query.
Yeah, especially nowadays. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so many things. You have the if conditions. You have there's a lot you can do that you can't just keep limiting yourself to say, oh, I must use BEM classes for everything on my website. I think BEM classes, yeah, they are still good. I still use BEM classes a lot, but it's not like the fundamental, like you must use BEM classes. There are so many ways to approach CSS in modern CSS that BEM classes are you if that's how you like to work, then you use it. But you shouldn't put anybody down if they're not using BEM classes, because
Yeah,
as long
and
as
the reason why they made BAM classes is because you had specificity issues, right, in the
yeah,
past, and
yeah,
especially when working on very big projects. So not the websites, the type of websites that we're creating. BAM classes are not always needed.
yeah,
Even when I started out, I never used BAM classes. We had uh, a default naming scheme and utility kind of classes that you can use throughout the website, and with that you can just build out a website. There was no such a thing as BAM classes. Those were introduced because people want to create fancier and more robust applications, and for that it makes sense, right? You have the BAM naming for a very specific component when there wasn't a component that you can reuse. So
but now
for
we have
instance,
components.
now you have
Yeah,
components, so you don't need the naming of the BAM classes. By the way, I have a question from Vitali. He says
yeah.
no
He says he
database
uses.
icon. You can pick. Yeah. It's no base. Oh, I use scope tool. Builderius supports it and puts such CSS code into component wrapper element. That's nice. So it's by default using the scope. That's awesome.
No, you can use scope, but it's not by default. By default, there is no CSS at all. So you decide whatever you want to use in
Yeah,
the component. Yeah, but he
but
uses
it
scope
looks like
because I've
he's
seen a lot of his videos. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, when you're using the component wrapper element. Yeah.
'Cause I'm still waiting, because if you check out the can I use for add scope, it still says newly available. So I'm waiting for it to say widely available. The moment it says widely available, then I'll start using add scope on my project, because I think like CSS nesting is now widely available. So for that I'll be using that. But for the add scope, if you go to caniuse.com and search for add scope, you see that it says um, newly available. So I'm still a
Oh,
little bit.
you already have it open. I was already
Oh no,
trying
I
to
was just testing out. Yeah. So
see
yeah,
if there's
for
nothing. Yeah.
CSS nesting, you
Yeah.
can see it says widely available.
Yeah.
But if you go
Baseline. Yeah.
to at scope, that says baseline 2025, but newly available. So that means a lot of people still haven't adopted it, but it's supported, but not yet fully supported. Because if you look at the percentage of support, it's still about 87%. Usually,
Oh yeah. Still
we
a
like it
lot.
to be about 92%. Then we will agree that the older systems are too old. We don't care about those older systems. Oh no, we care, but not so much about the older 2012 and 2014 systems. We need, so that's why people try to keep it to about 3 years. So anything from 2024 or 2023, we can start using it. But when it's 2025 as the baseline, then we'll wait a little bit for about maybe a year. After a year, then we'll start using at scope, because I remember I remember I think it was 2 months ago, I was using, I don't know if it's supported relative colors. I don't know if it's going to show up here.
Not the
So I was
British
using
one,
this.
at least.
Yeah, I was using the relative colors for like OKLCH with relative colors, which I was happy with it. It was working very nicely. Then I went to someone's browser and I opened up
Mhm.
my colors, and I was just seeing like black. Literally all the colors were just like black. Nothing was showing up. I was like, what's going on? Then I realized that the although OKLCH itself is widely available, but using the from syntax, there's a syntax called from. You write from, then you write your base color, then you can convert that color to anything you want. That
Yeah.
relative color is still newly available. So a lot of older browsers that have not yet been updated don't have it, and especially all of these ones that people use, like all these Vivaldi, all those type of browsers, a lot of them tend to delay before updating to the latest Chrome Chromium browser or
Mhm.
the latest Firefox browser, they tend to give a delay. So things will not work out in those browsers. Especially where I saw it mainly was when I was using Right Place, because I use Right Place a bit. And then I opened Right Place. It has an internal browser, and none of my colors were showing. That's why I realized, okay, no, I have to follow the trend and follow baseline widely available just to be safe. Yeah, so that's what I do nowadays.
And this is a very good one to know, that there
Yeah,
is a difference between baseline and baseline widely available, right? At
yeah,
90%, it says that it's widely available, I guess, right?
yeah. Usually at about
Yeah.
90%, it says widely available, and basically it's about 2 years from when the baseline starts. So right now it's 2024. So by 2026, ending of whenever the thing started, that's when it tends to become widely available. They like to give it about 2 years because that's about the lifetime of most of this tech. 3 years is the lifetime. So usually you discard your old tech about 3 years. So they try to make it about 3 years and they make it widely available. Otherwise, they'll say it's still baseline, newly available. Yeah.
That's a very good thing to know, because I'm so hyped about all the
New
Kevin Powell
CSS.
shows that, and Una
Yeah.
also shows that on Axe. All the awesome things that are coming, like the if statement, the if
Yeah. This
function.
one
I
is
mean,
worse.
what? Or the
Limited.
color contrast function is
Oh
also
yeah,
something
yeah.
that
That's another
I
one.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to use that, and then you're going to look at how well it is supported right now, and then you're like, maybe not yet.
Yeah, yeah. Baseline 2026, so that'll be about another 2 years before it becomes widely
The normal,
available.
yeah.
Yeah.
But with the AI things going on right now, you can imagine that it will be faster to implement the new CSS kind of tools, right?
That's the problem, right? With because this all of these AI tools, they tend to work on trained data, so many of them will still give you old CSS. They will try to stick to old level CSS, the ones that they know about, rather than the new CSS. I think it will take a while for the AI tools to adopt the new CSS. But yeah, I could be wrong.
There's such a downer usually when you're trying to do something with AI. It's still using the old school way of doing things, and then you have to have an extra file. So I'm working on a folder which has my preferences, and
Okay.
I know that certain kind of like nesting, it is, you can use it because it's widely adopted. I
Yeah.
learned today. So I would prefer to use something like nested
Nesting. Yeah.
when building something, because that's way easier to do that than relying on um, just BEM classes. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see that you can do a similar kind of thing that we saw in the video, but just reusing the nesting. If you
Yeah.
just do dot hero and then select everything, then it's also fine, except when you use a component. But yeah, that's a different kind of case, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. I really like I say, the modern HTML and modern CSS has really changed everything. So we can't really keep banging on about some things we were using in the past, like someone mentioned about page builders and AI. If you're not adopting AI, your page builder, and you're trying to be as traditional as possible, it will work to an extent, but then you'll be left behind because everybody nowadays, they want to be able to connect their AI into their builders. Like you see, Etch has the Etch connector and the Etch AI. The Builderius has the Sense AI. Now we have Novamira Visual, that literally you can watch the AI tool as it's building in the builder, so you can see it adds a section, then it adds the container, then it adds the image and everything, so you can watch it as it builds. that's that's where we are going to. So we need the page builders nowadays, they need to keep up with the new technology, and which is why I think that the Kevin Geary argument about the UI panels, which is why he's trying to strip out a lot of the UI panels, because the UI panels were built more for visual editing,
Yeah, for
whereas
sure.
AI doesn't build with visual. AI builds with the code. So AI prefers, as much as possible, if you can give it a code interface that it can work with. So if we can have that balance between having visual and code in a more user-friendly way and AI-friendly way at the same time. I don't know how we can achieve that balance, but yeah, we need a way that is user-friendly as well as AI-friendly in
Yeah,
building out sites, and then we get that.
especially
Yeah,
for upcoming years, right? I
exactly.
really can
Yeah,
say that for the upcoming years, that where we are used to clicking around and doing anything manually right now, you need a transition period for that. For us to getting used that we just need to prompt and speak to the AI to do
yeah,
things,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then AI does it instead of us needing to click everywhere.
yeah. Yeah, I saw Max Schmansky. Nowadays, he doesn't type anything right now. He just speaks to his AI. He's always speaking to his AI.
Well, on that note, I can show you something funny that I'm working on. It's my own kind of thing using Codeex for techies.tools. I just want to make a SaaS application like I do at my work as well, and just see how it feels, how it works, and because I'm also a little bit of a designer, I know what I prefer and do not prefer. But yeah, this was basically vibe coded, but I did say to the AI what my preferences are. But yeah, you can easily build something like this, right? So you have the most work go in the details, right? Like when I press this button, it opens up and closes it, and
Oh, nice.
the fade kind of thing also happens there. When you change the color, I want those to be in a variable. I want to be able to add a color. I want to choose the accent headings and that sort of things, just to get a feel of how would something like this work and how would I prefer to do that, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the export option. All right, how does that look? How does that work? As you can see, it's based on core framework because they are open sourcing it. So I was like, all right, we can use the variables. It doesn't matter. And in here, you can copy the CSS and then paste it somewhere else. But what happens next step, right? When you want to import your CSS and your variables, can we do it the other way around? And how would that work? Vibe coding these kinds of things and trying out AI tools to build these kinds of tools, it feels way better, to be fair, than trying to code with the client websites where a lot of details go into the text and into the graphics and into just very specific things. I like to do a little bit more, perhaps, than the average WordPress user, maybe. That looks way better and over complicated sometimes. But
Yeah.
That's the thing with AI. I didn't need any panel. I could just talk to the AI. This is the idea. This is what I wanted. Use the grill with doc skill to ask more questions so that we get into specifics. For instance, a very fun thing. You see the colors right here. If you add a color, the color will be added there as well. It's very minor, but I like those design changes that you can visually see. All right, what are the colors that I have added? And if you add one more, then you see the color as well, and you can change it visually. So,
Yeah, that's cool. That's really nice. Yeah, that's
if
nice.
you speak about creating something with AI, this is such an awesome thing. Have you ever built something with AI, like a dashboard or something else directly?
At the moment, no. But a friend of mine, he built a kind of, what's it called? How we manage our money right now. So I was not managing my money quite well. So he built one of those web apps, and then he hosted it on Vercel. So that's what I'm using as well now. We try to like
What is the
budget it out.
website?
Yeah, I can't remember it right now, but it's a budgeting app. So we log in, we set up the daily, our monthly budget, and how much how much you're going to spend on your daily necessities,
Hmm.
and at least try to cut down on our costs because we are spending a lot of money, and
Yeah.
we need to reduce. Yeah. So he came up with the idea, and now I'm just using, and he's a medical doctor. He has no idea about coding, but then he vibe coded it and it works. Like all
Oh,
I
that's
the only thing I did was just tell him, okay, let's change the color here to that color. Let's change the UI panel from here to there. But everything he did was vibe coded and it works and it's there on the internet. So yeah, I think vibe coding now. Even Elvis mentioned, because in one of his, I think one of his students,
mhm.
they were able to vibe code a lot of apps, and he was showing me the apps. I was like, wow, this is from students who are not tech people. They are more designers than tech, but yet they were able to vibe code and build so many apps that work in their day-to-day lives. It's not like they're changing the entire world, but they are building apps that fix something that they want. Like, even
Yeah.
if it's just a timer, or it's just a bookkeeping app or something that is for them personally, and it's saving them cost because they don't have to pay for subscription for one of these other tools. It's an internal tool that helps them to save time and save cost. Yeah, it's always fun to see those projects. It's not like the AI bros that tell you that, oh yeah, you can make $100,000 from just one vibe coded prompt that you do. That's not the whole idea. The idea is that you can use AI to build out things to save you time and energy and help you to build faster. For example, the AI tool, I just used AI now to like to work on a lot of my old websites, my old tutorials. I wrote some
Mhm.
code back in the day for a lot of my tutorials, but then they were all having some limitations because back then I didn't really know much. I only knew what I knew. But now with the AI went in, literally tested the code out visually on my demo site. It opened the demo site, it tested out the code, and it told me, oh, this part of the code there is something that there is an edge case that you didn't test out. And I'm like, oh yeah, I actually didn't test out that edge case, and we fixed the code, and that's it. That's AI just is beautiful.
That's just way too awesome that it can do that right now.
Yeah. Right now, like Max Zibel,
Mhm.
what he does with AI is next level, and he's the one who is like making us in the WordPress space. I don't know. You will normally see him popping up on some live streams, especially when the live stream is about AI, because that's where his whole research is about AI. And yes, what we can do with AI is we, all of us are just scratching the surface because we all use it for our own small internal things, but some people are using it for way more.
Yeah.
To, in fact, all of the, like, so they mentioned in Paul's live stream today, how many of the plugin developers today are not using AI? They may try to deceive us and tell us that no, we are all about writing pure code, but I believe that, like I said, about 85% of even the top WordPress plugin developers, even Elementor, I believe that nowadays a lot of the things that they're adding into the website, into the code, is some of it is vibe coded. They have people who will QA it and review it and all of that, but I believe that a lot of the things starts from vibe coding, basically. Yeah, it all starts from vibe coding. Because I saw a plugin developer just sent me his plugin recently. The plugin works well, but I opened his website and, like, you just see those AI patterns in the website and you just know, okay, this entire website was built with AI. There was no human input in this website. Like,
You're like, all right, I get it. You're a programmer. You're not a marketeer, but come on. I can pipe code you a better website.
yeah, because
Yeah.
the starting point is that you just see I don't know why the AI, Claude especially, it has this way it writes H1 headings is always with two fonts one font is, I can't remember the name of the font, but it's always the same thing. The keyword, it always uses a different color, and the keyword is always the last word in the sentence with slant, well, like, what's it called? It's italics and
the handwritten, right?
yeah, exactly. Yes, that's it. Like, always the same. Like on every vibe coded website is like the same pattern, and then at the top you get to see that badge with a dot in it. That it's either pulsing or not, but there's always one of those.
Which is a shame because it's a very good way of having landmarks that all right, this is the section where I'm in right now, and this is the next section.
Yeah.
Now AI just fucked it up.
Because when I first did it the first time, I used AI at that time, and I saw it. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. And then I opened the next person's YouTube video, and I saw the same thing. And I opened another YouTube video, and I saw the same thing. I'm like, oh no, this is no longer unique. I thought it was unique to me. I didn't know that the AI was just literally building the same thing for all of us, like literally just rebuilding the same patterns, which is why I told Toby, no, not Toby. I can't remember. I think I was talking to Toby, and I was like, sometimes even when we do anti-patterns, the problem is because we have some skills that we use for anti-patterns, but everybody now uses that skill. It now becomes a new pattern. Like doing the anti-pattern becomes a new pattern, and it just becomes a recurring pattern that all of us all have. I don't know. It's a funny thing with AI and design.
Yeah, for sure. But and that's the only thing that you can do with using the skills, right? Then it captures what your preferences are and prompting it. What I like to do, and that's what I do during my day job, in the future streams, we're going to look at that as well. I'm using, what's called? I let AI build tools for me so that I can have the settings options to change things, right? Like the HTML or CSS, and try to make those changes manually so that you have the exact settings for something that you created, and the exact padding and the exact flow so that everything feels coherent and not as cramped and that sort of things. And that's not by prompting it. So that's hopefully not going to assist the AI to get better at doing the design, but that's my taste a little bit in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like Vitaly mentioned in the chat, that's what
even pre-AI, all Tailwind sites look. That's when ShadCN came out, right? Then all the Tailwind looked the same. Before that, it was Bootstrap, right? And Tailwind was used inside of Bootstrap, if I remember correctly. I don't know.
I can't remember now. Yeah, but I know, Bootstrap 4, Bootstrap 5, basically everybody's site looked the same.
Exactly the same.
Even when we had tables and columns, all our sites looked like tables.
I tried to do the fancy things with using a repeating background that you can get from top to bottom. It looks a little bit different, a little bit framed, that sort of things.
I still remember 2007 or so when I was building some websites. It just looked. I can never go back to those types of websites ever again.
I can imagine.
But that's the thing. That people, like, we all blame like AI slop, but at the end of the day, it's more or less like writing like templates. AI is just based on templates. So it's either human-made templates, like people using even frames by the Etch team. After a while, you see that because everybody is using frames, all our frames look the same. Like that's just reality. Like if everybody is using the Bricks Maven or frames or everything,
Brixies,
but because all of us are using it, it now becomes the same. Like all our websites look the same. So we can't really blame AI slop because it's just a pattern. It's a pattern. Life is the whole. Unless you break out of the pattern and create your own, it will still end up looking like a pattern, like a template. And
at least for now, I can't wait for the future for generative UI, where UI really is different from your personal preference, right? Maybe it's not always a user interface, only a user interface when you need it, but most of the things you can do through talking. I think that's a really interesting concept.
Yeah, I think we'll end up being like we already have with the Meta glasses and all of that. So like, I guess that's how we'll be getting to a point where we no longer even need computers. We don't need screens anymore. We just wear your glasses. All of you have your own personalized interaction with AI, and the content on the web is just AI. It's not going to be visual websites anymore. You want to even book your driving test. Normally we go to our gov.uk website in the UK, but at that point in time, you just be like, just say, "Hey Meta, build me or like book my appointment for XYZ next week," and then the AI will go ahead and do its thing and come back and tell you, "Yes, it's booked," and that's it. You have your assistant. If you want any kind of information, you just ask the assistant and to give you the information without having to go to any website to try to start browsing or any content. I guess that's where life will be getting to. That it's just voice and voice basically. We don't need to be relying on anything anymore. No visual system, unless maybe you are more of a visual person and maybe you might be have some auditory impairment. Then probably you have the VR glasses that will work out for you. In that case, everybody will have their own personalized system without having to rely on laptops and desktops and gaming computers and all of that. The games will just be in your mind or something. You just wear some element and you can play the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so as well. I was just telling my girlfriend as well that we have these kind of things, right? The phones.
Yeah.
And I just like we're looking back at our parents having such a big mobile phone, if they even had it, because it was way too expensive for everybody to have, right? I can see that my daughters will look back at this point in time and say like, you use what? You use what? Like a plastic and glossy slab just to call someone, and if you're bored, you just do that in your brain, or I don't know where it is then, right?
It'll probably just be like you have something on your wrist, and then you have your headphones, and then it will just automatically communicate, and you don't have to write. You have to look at a phone or anything. Like everything will just be maybe you give us contact lenses. That will be the next thing. You put the lenses in your eyes, and you can always connect to the internet anytime you want or something. I don't know.
It does everything that you want. Yeah, that would be nice. Just like the Matrix, I'm plugged in. I know kung fu.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then AI rules everything. It's just like the Black Mirror kind of thing, where they had some implants.
Yeah.
Implants. I need AI as well, right? Else I can't talk.
Yeah, I think that's how we're going to get to that point where we're just everything just chips implanted in our brains or somewhere, and life will just be. And then
they will get singularity, hopefully. And then we can do space races and that sort of thing instead of just trying to fight each other on planet Earth. I mean, come on. We're just small. Let's work together and go to
other planets. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to go to the next form of humanity, not stay stuck in this fighting. My belief is better than yours kind of thing. Such a stupid thing. But yeah, it is what it is. In the end, everybody wants the same, the best for the people, right?
Yeah. Hopefully that's what everybody wants.
Yeah. And usually it can be that it's not for every people, maybe a small select of the people, but yeah, it's what happens, right? It's part of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think in terms of the AI, which one do you think how do you set up AI in Etch? I think that will be the last one.
Yeah, and let's see. In terms of AI, let's see if I can press the right button. There we go. So with Edge have two things that you have to do to use AI. First off, you need to turn on AI, add your OpenAI API key if you want to use it inside of the Edge builder directly.
Okay.
And then you have also the possibility to have the AI connector. The AI connector is only for you, it's a local bridge, like it says right here, right? And it connects via Codeex, and you can use your own subscription. The differences between those two, the OpenAI one inside of Edge and the AI connector, the difference between those two is that you have a reference for everything that's inside of Edge, but also in your WordPress. For instance, ACSS is being used, what the variables are, what the HTML is that's currently available. This is also experimental. And if I remember correctly, the connector doesn't have access to all the elements. So if you want to build something new, then let's do that right now. You can open up the AI panel. I guess we just closed the AI panel itself. AI chat, there we go. Let's remove everything else that just gets in the way of the way we like building right now. Only using AI, only vibe coding. We can ask, and this is also fun because I have a tool where you can speak into it, like Whisperflow, but it's voice dash. It was for $49 on AppSumo. If you don't have anything like that, look at AppSumo right now. There's also Blip AI. There's other ones. You should really try to use that one because it just makes this quite easy. Yeah. But build out a hero section and with an image, a title, intro, and a button for the call to action. This is all the only context that I give EtchWP and Edge AI inside of the chat, and then I hit Ctrl Enter to send it, and it will do its stuff, right? It's trying to see, all right, what do I need to do? It's already considering the skills that it needs to use everything. It's looking inside of the so it's really quick. It's looking at the spacing, buttons. It doesn't ask clarifying questions. And that's why I like to use Codeex for that, because then you can use the skill. But now it's ready. You can insert it and you have the HTML. And then you have to copy this. And if I remember correctly, you need to have the CSS panel. It's not in here. It is in here. CSS editor. And then you need to paste it right here. Or was it differently? I can't remember. There's a way at least that you can insert it directly. Ah, there we go. You just press insert. Sometimes it can't be just as easy, right? And then everything is inserted. So we don't even need a CSS panel right now. Let's see. Go in here. Hide panels and make this all the way. And there you go. There you have your hero section. It is using BAM classes. So if you want something different, it's not possible to do right now, but perhaps in the future they will change that. And it will be using the ACSS because we have that. I see also 2rem. And if I remember correctly, this is a very specific function that was created by the ACSS team.
You have to convert from pixel to rem, right?
Yeah, for converting those. But yeah, everything is done inside of there. We can look into the CSS editor and the HTML editor side by side, and we see that it's just in there. The eyebrow is in there. The famous eyebrow heading. Then you know it's AI slop directly, right? It adds the button, it adds the image. So yeah, that's how it works with Edge and with Builderius. How does that look like?
Okay, let me see if I can pull it up. So in Builderius, you have to go back out of the builder. First, you go into Builderius and then settings. It only works with the pro version. It will take about a minute or so to open. But I think they said they're fixing it in the next version, or the stable version. The settings panel takes a bit of time to open. Then you go into your Sense AI, and then you have two options. You have the local option or the remote option. The local option literally means that the Sense AI will run inside of your WordPress file system. So basically, it will install, or it will like save all of the CSS. I said CSS. It will save all of your settings into the WordPress file system on the root, somewhere in the root. If you use the remote option, that means you're trying to do it externally, and that's what I'm using here. So if you use remote, then you can go into something like your terminal. So here we have something like VS Code or any terminal. Then we just need to open a new terminal session, and you just simply write what's written. Where is it? Here. So they give you all of the things that you need to do. So first, you choose what AI agent you need. If it's Cloud Code, Gemini, or Codeex, I think they will add some extra at the later on. Then you choose the port number. In case you have multiple websites, you may want each one to access a different port. Yeah. Then you now decide, are you using the Mac or Windows? Each one has a quick installer. You just download the installer, run the installer. It will install Node, the latest version of Node for you. It will install the latest version of whatever CLI you choose. So if you choose Claude and Gemini, it will install Claude and Gemini for you automatically. Then it will also install Builderius Sense as an npm package, or you can do that manually as well. This is also the manual installation guide if you want. Then to do the actual settings, all you need to do is create a folder on your page, somewhere on your website. I'm using VS Code, so I already created a folder in VS Code. Then you just run sense --agents equal to whatever agents you need. And then if you change the port number, you also write port equal to whatever port number it is. So I just copy that code. Then I'll open my terminal, which is my VS Code terminal, and I'll paste it there and just run. And that's it. It's now running, and we can now go back into our builder. The last thing we need to do is also copy this connection token. Copy that token, because that's basically what establishes the connection between your local AI agent and the browser. Then I'll come into my browser, go into Sense AI tab, and paste my token.
This is the only part that I don't get. Because we're inside of WordPress, we're online, right? Yeah. And then you need to copy and paste a token that's available within inside of WordPress. I wonder, because this also looks as a part of the website that you need to enter the token. So why do I need to fetch it in a different place, paste it right here, before I have the connection with the terminal?
Yeah, I have no idea as well.
Okay, yeah.
I think what's happening that this is simple. If you watch with Novamira, with their new Novamira, the new one is something similar, where you are visual. Yeah, you add it into your AI agent, and then it will ask you to add a token, and then you put that token, and then it starts to run. So I guess there's something internally that needs the token. So I'll go ahead and connect. Then this is the only bit that you now have to also accept the certificate page. So go accept that, and then it now makes it look like your website is not safe, because you start to see this on not secure, but it's not really anything. Yeah, just local. So I'll refresh, and now we have access to our cloud. Hopefully I'm logged in already.
But this just looks like the Claude terminal interface, yeah.
Something so basically this is,
the AI bros are familiar with.
Yeah.
Because David is, Vitaly is in here. It is because David is connecting from terminal window to specific Builderius installation identified by token. Yeah, I can I can understand that. From my perspective, I am launching Sense AI in my browser. So how does that work then specifically? Is this web page connected via a WebSocket or something like that, then sending the token over to the terminal so that the terminal knows, right, this is the connection that we have, or something like that?
Because exactly, yeah. So if you go back into your VS Code, I think you'll see at the bottom somewhere, it tells you that, okay, no.
Fatal.
Another person listening. Okay, I guess that was a mistake. But yeah, basically to tell you that the connection, it was waiting for authentication token. So this token, it was waiting for it in your terminal. When you feed the token into the browser, that token is now sent to the terminal, and then the terminal gets the connection, basically.
Yeah. Perhaps Vitaly and for Elvis as well. It would be nice that you have the connection pre-filled in there, or have a way to copy it within this interface, because it can be done automatically, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, WebSocket. And David launched terminal not in browser but in VS Code. Yeah, but for the people that are not knowing about this, it feels like we're launching something in the browser, but there's some magic happening why the token is needed. And perhaps we can look into that, how to make that a little bit easier.
Yeah, because all of this, because the setup stage is a bit, hopefully they can come up with a simpler way, but I think at least it's better now. All you have to do is run this quick install, then you run from your terminal. Literally, you can just go into your terminal and run it from your terminal here. You can, as long as you are in the project folder that you need, you can run sense dash double hyphen, I think, something, agent equal to whatever it is, Claude, and run it directly from your terminal. But I just like using VS Code so that I can see everything visually. But yeah, that's it. So you now, then after that, you now have to copy your token. Then you now go into your builder. So that's like multiple steps. It's a lot of steps. If there's a way to reduce the steps, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we are here. We can do the same thing. What was your prompt again? Build a simple hero section or something? I don't know.
Let's see. We can go into our out a little bit. Build a hero section. I can build out a hero section with an image, a title, intro, and a button for the call to action.
Hero section. Yeah, I think just paste
it in the chat, and then hopefully you can copy and paste it from there or something.
Yeah, hopefully. I hope that. Okay, let's see. Copy. Oh no. I think Control C doesn't work. So let's see what else works.
I can send via Facebook.
Oh no, I think I can. Oh yeah, okay. I can just right click. I'm so used to keyboard typing, so Control V. Okay, so let's see how fast it is. So build out a hero section with an image, a title, intro, and a button for the call to action. Okay. So it is whatever it is. I'll build this section in the live. Okay, Builderius live builder. Let me load the tools. Okay. So then call it the Builderius MCP, and then to start building, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe perhaps we can. MCP connection.
Oh yeah, it currently has a 404 no found template open. Why? Am I not in the home? Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong template. Oh yeah, okay. Let's switch to a proper template. Let me go to the to somewhere. I don't know.
A new page.
Yeah, I think we'll get back to it. So let me just try and quickly create a new page.
Yeah, and then I will show something on screen as well for a little bit.
Yeah.
How do we do that? Like this, and then show this. Oh, it's really tiny.
Oh yeah, I guess we can just start from here. I'm already there, so let me.
All right.
Oh, is it
Streaming
back?
has been recovered.
Oh, okay.
Has it? Right. Let's check it out.
Your session has been. Please log in. Okay. Yeah, I think it's back.
Are we back again? Yes, we
Yeah.
are. I don't know what happened. Suddenly, the streaming service was like, you
I'm
try.
done.
Yeah, I'm done. You guys are a little bit boring. So we're going to different. We're going to different something. But it looks like it's working. Yeah, you were showing something on Builderius.
Yeah, I think it's saying it built everything out, but for some reason it didn't build out an image. I don't know why. It just added. Okay, I guess I have to tell it. It just added a blank alt text, but no source file for some reason. Okay, so, let's just prompt it and see. Can you add an image from? I don't know. At least it built everything out with the classes and everything is there. I added the button class. It added our text, but I guess it didn't want to take any image from anywhere without us specifying what image we want. So yeah, it's not good to swap the placeholder for a pixels image. So let's do.
Almost like boring. Oh, and then you're back.
No, this is weird. It's still not getting my image.
The YouTube stream is not working.
Is off again?
I don't know. Let's see. It looks like it is working. I'm going to mute that one so that I can monitor that everything's working and keeps working. Previously
Okay.
bad image generation generated. SVG illustrations. Nice.
Let's see the attributes. Loading alt. It just didn't. For some, let me just save it and refresh. I don't know why it didn't get the image. This is the first time I'm seeing the AI not getting my image right.
It's a demo effect. Vitaly is in here. Maybe he can fix it on stream.
Yeah. Source image at pixels. I've saved, but no image in the source URL.
It is working. I know. I tell you, Claude is bad at image. He's bad at images. Is what Vitaly is telling.
Interesting. Yeah, but usually it gets the image from me. I don't know why. This is the first time, literally my first time seeing it add the image, alt text, but then no source URL for the image. Itself is valid HTTP. Okay, now it has added it. I guess it was just dreaming the other day. She was just dreaming. Oh yeah, here we go. We get our image after 3 prompts.
Well, it's something, right?
Yeah. What was wrong? Okay, the media URL setting only wires up a source for images chosen from the WordPress media library. Interesting. It doesn't emit anything from an external URL. Oh, okay. So I guess that's something they need to tidy up. Okay. So media URL only wires from the media library. So I'm not sure why that happened, but I know I've been building with Builderius and AI for a while, and I've never had this problem before. So I don't know. Maybe it's a new update or something.
Yeah. Well, at least we can see that it has built the hero section.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was not as fast as Edge, so Edge is way better. No.
So yeah, I think so. That's where the thing is. So with Edge, what's happening is Edge gives you the HTML, then you have to copy the HTML yourself because Edge has that HTML and CSS inserter. Whereas with Builderius, the builder has to write the JSON file itself, which is why like I mentioned from the beginning, that the builders need to readapt themselves for both AI and the user in a well-balanced manner, because the AI wants to write just raw HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but the builder expects JSON files. They expect it to write ID equal to whatever, the title equal to that, the content equal to this. So that's what is taking up the time of the AI agent while he's building, because it's now having to do extra work to first build the HTML out in some internal tool that it has. Then it now has to convert that HTML into the Builderius JSON
file,
file. Yeah.
Just like Nova Mirror does with Elementor, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yes.
Elementor under the hood uses JSON, and just like Block MCP does as well, because they all have a way of using JSON to build out everything. So yeah, there needs to be a translation layer for it to understand what needs to be done.
Exactly.
And to be fair, I guess that is something that Edge does as well with the AI connection.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do the same prompt and see how that works.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to test it out. Yeah.
Let's see, but I see that my screen is so tiny. I have a tiny little screen. Let's.
Oh wow.
I will add a new scene for that specifically. Now nobody sees us, but we can make those changes. There we go.
Okay.
Media. Let's add in the nice little background. It's very nice. So now I'm curious if when we open up Codeex, because that's also where I set up the Edge connector. Let's see. It's now showing full page. Let's go back. Endpoints, response with error. Oh, does that mean that this doesn't work right now? So that I can't show it. Let's open up terminal. Let's hit this. It's already in use. So I guess it's already running. We can go back. Oh yeah, there was an issue with Codeex browser experience.
Oh yeah.
If I remember correctly, then you needed to hit this button, allow so that it has access and it is now connected.
Okay.
So we can now ask Codeex things just like you did with the terminal to build out the same hero section. Build, let's call this here SOP, SOP hero section. And let's see what Codeex can do together with the AI. If the connector is running, we'll need to see. Is running. It says it is running. So take a look at the project. I'm using product design, get context skill. And it's apparently a plugin that is installed in Codeex. So that's nice that you can use the skills that already are available. Some reason I can infer so far that, by the way, if you want AI to be way more efficient, you can use the caveman skill. It's made by a 19-year-old Dutch student on the Technical University of Eindhoven, and it then removes a lot of words that are not needed to communicate to us humans, so that we understand what it actually is doing. Like the and is, a, those are all extra patterns that are recognized, but you don't need them, right? Package WebSocket bridge is already good enough to understand what it's doing and what's why it needs it. And then you can also use smaller words. So instead of WebSocket, you can use WS for us coders, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
So caveman mode, if you want a little bit more efficiency. Ooh, look at that, fancy. This is awesome. You can use caveman skills to do that. So yeah, it's now building things. Exposes block styles, bundles. All right, so now it's finally time to walk through it.
Okay.
Let's see if the live stream is still live. It's still streaming.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep. Now it's taking way longer, if you ask me.
Yeah, like he mentioned, I think he said the first time is a bit longer than the second time.
Yeah, that's true. And it's also now you see and feel the difference when you're using the AI chat, where it just generates everything directly inside of the bar. It was way faster than this time with using an MCP kind of thing, because that's the only thing that I can understand that it is using that. It's funny though that you have this kind of thing, right? External. Dave, if you have never used AI to create something, I really would recommend on doing that, because you can go way deeper than what we're doing right now. And this is, for example, the caveman skill that I was talking about. He even finds, and this one's very funny, that if you use a very traditional kind of Chinese Wenyan, that one is so efficient for AI to use that you can save a lot of tokens. But he's like, all right, you can have caveman mode, and then you have no filter hedging, keep articles, full sentences. This is almost literally how the caveman starts to talk. But here it just does the classical Chinese. You don't understand anything about it. You need to ask it, all right, what do we need to do? Or translate it, and then it's insane. This is way too funny. But yeah, let's see. Ooh, it has done something. Ooh,
okay.
Ooh, the dish. Ooh,
nice. Finally, yeah, nice.
Its own. Like
so it basically read through the CPT. That's the difference. It read through all of your ACF fields, and it now knew that you are building a restaurant website, which is why it gives you dishes, seasonal dishes.
Yeah, this is way better if you're using custom post types and that sort of things. This feels more coherent than actually using the AI. A focused hero title that sells the value fast. It's a nice explanation, but it is not using the context that we already have set up.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this actually makes sense. Yeah, so it basically read through all of your. So it's almost like it was doing a Claude init initialization. So it basically ran through the entire website, which is why the first time was slower. So it ran through the entire website to get as much information about the website as it could, so that it now wrote that into context somewhere, and that's why it's now building out the site based on that context. So it's a nice.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Let's ask it to create another version. That's what I do also when building a website. Then I have or a dashboard or whatever. I have design ideas. I would ask it to make changes, right? Now create a different version so that the dish can be seen more. That's the tasty part. And sometimes I like to keep it fake instead of saying, all right, I want a 2-column layout with an image, with a this, with a that, with a such and a such. I want to talk about user experience. So if somebody is visiting a website, they want to see the dish, right? It needs to be even more in the face than it is right now. And that's what I try to do with the prompt. Not say what it needs to do, but what I want to convey in that specific section. So and it's updating the subhero rather than adding a clutter image. So I'm very curious how fast this will go, because we're now changing something. We're not adding things, right? Oh, second movie, brand new agent. Vitaly is already entertained with the AI agent movie he's watching right now. This is the future of coding. Instead of someone typing away relentlessly to get things going, they're just like, create this, and then wait for 20 minutes before it's finished.
I think yesterday I was building something out, and it was quite nice to hear the agent saying, "I've created some sub agents, and those sub agents are doing some work, and they're coming back with their information." I'm like, "Oh, interesting!" Like,
oh, that's awesome. I really need to go into that place.
Yeah, I guess this was a little faster, but yeah, it's still
slow. Yeah,
slower than the initial.
This makes a nice size should just be like that. But it made the image bigger, so that's nice.
Yeah, you said you wanted the image to pop to the images.
Yeah. And it did that in its own way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So that's the other way. So yeah, I can say something of both of them.
Yeah,
and it looks like it's still using the proper way of designing things, I guess, in the eyes of Mr. Kevin Geary, right?
Yeah, with the BEM naming and everything.
Yeah, the BEMing and the. It looks like it's using the colors, the text S, to RAM functionality, H2 clump, It looks like it's using everything that ACS has well. So yeah, I think it's cheating. Yeah, quite possibly. It's not using AI. There's just a underpaid person on the other side typing away like, oh, all right, here we go again. Type.
I think one thing that would probably be nice as well is if these AI agents can like connect. Maybe that's what it's actually doing. I don't know, but basically connects to one of their libraries, like the frames library somewhere underneath with some token, so that you can get their parts. So that instead of rather than having to rebuild from scratch, you can just pick out some sections from the library somewhere and just paste the library in. I guess that will save us some tokens. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, could be so. But then it needs context of what kind of sections are available and when to use which one and why.
Yeah. So that'll be part of a skill somewhere that will tell it, okay, for hero sections, check under the hero section and then pick it based on, I don't know, hero alpha, or how do we normally name it in frames? I think it's alpha, bravo, something, echo, hero echo, or something like that.
Yeah. Another boring sections. That's probably what's happening.
This is really cool. Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. It was nice looking at this. I really like this live stream again. And you're such a fun guy to do this together with. These kinds of exploring.
We can keep exploring different page builders, and then I think both page builders really do quite well. I like how they both work. I like the way Builderius, like the moment you put in the CSS into the builder picks it up automatically, compared to Etch, where you still have to manually try to figure out what CSS name is. So I think that's one thing about Builderius over Etch, is that dynamic data and the CSS classes, they automatic, or CSS variables, they automatically pick up in the builder, so you can reuse them without having to remember the names. So like the post title, you don't have to remember how to write post title. You just use the dynamic stack and put it. Although you still have underneath, you still have code So if you want to write the code yourself, you can always write the code yourself. That's one thing I like about Builderius. On the other hand, the Etch interface, I think the interface for Etch, they spent a bit more time with their interface, like in terms of like the way you can toggle off different sections of the interface, the way you don't have to, you can always open that command palette. That is a nice feature. That's Control I or whatever you typed, and control all the other numbers, Control Enter. So that's something that I really like about Etch, and I would really like to see it in Builders. I already use it in Bricks. Bricks has their own like context switcher, or like the command palette. So I would like to see that kind of command palette in Builderius, and that's the right click context menu. That's something that I also like to see in Builderius, because in Builderius, I think we only have two options for the right click of an element. You can either copy the element, you can delete the element, or you can create components. Whereas with Etch, you can always do like wrap in div, wrap in section, something like that. I'm not sure. Then you can.
You can also create components.
Yeah, you can create components, and then you can. What's the other thing that you can do with Etch? With Etch, you can auto BEM. Yeah, you can auto BEM if you want to auto BEM.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are nice features to have, because with Builderius, let's say you want to wrap the element you have right now in a div, it's a bit complicated. You can't really, you have to create a div, then copy your element into that div. You can't just right click and wrap in div. So that would be something nice to have.
So this instance, right, that you can right click it and then convert to component pattern lists, raw HTML dynamic data, or wrap in something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those two items, I really like it in Builderius, because Builderius only has the option to create components. That's all. That's the main option that they have. All the other options are like duplicate, copy, paste, the regular context menu that we typically have. So that's something I really like to see in Builderius, a nicer context menu and a faster way to access code. I know Builderius is a more visual type of system, but a faster way to access the code will be really nice. And maybe code should be the forefront, and then you can access visual. Like it should be like code first, visual second. I don't know, but that will be breaking their philosophy, which is a visual page builder. But maybe it be.
Well, even showing the code is visual, but it is more for developers, right? For us, it's visual because we know what we need to do. But so yeah, there's things to be said, and I think you're right. Having access directly to the HTML is something that specifically works well in Etch. What I don't like about Etch is that you are constrained, it feels like, to using BEM methods. Would be nice that there's other methods you can add. For me, I don't use BEM methodology always, but it's nice that you have a way of doing that easily. The restriction in ACSS, I really don't like that, and there's where Builderius does a way better thing, that it at least knows that there's different variables and you can use them directly. It is also immediately available. For the AI setup, I think both of them have something to say. If you're using your subscription account, I think Etch does a easier way of doing that, because you can use an npx shortcode and then it will run that and then it's done. For Builderius, it needs a little bit more setup, but then it works as well with your own subscription and using your terminal. So then you have everything in one place instead of needing to change windows, because then you have your agent open in one place and then you have your builder open in another place. With Builderius, it's all together. Also, really liking the tabs. They can just switch. I'm wondering which one is faster, that you have the tabs inside of the builder, or you have two tabs open inside of your window and then switching those. I think the latter is a little bit faster right now, at least.
But I think the problem with having your tabs open separately is that you start to get this global CSS conflict, because sometimes you may save on one of the other sites and then it will basically overwrite something.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You're being called.
Yeah, I'm being called, unfortunately.
Do you need to go or something? Because we're
Yeah, I think I'll need to go. Yeah.
all right, all right. Well, thank you very much, Dave, for this lovely live stream and a great recap of indeed Builderius and Etch and seeing the differences. And I think we have similar insights and similar ideas about it. Is there something you would like to say as a final? Where can people find you, for example?
Oh, yeah. So thank you for having me today. Yeah. If you want to find me on literally everything, just Dave Den 2. So Dave Den with a number 2. Literally on any social media platform, even on YouTube, is the same name. It makes life easy for me. And yeah, and I'm always talking about dynamic data, about accessibility, and about page builders. That's what I mostly focus on. And one thing I would say before we jump off is we have WP Accessibility Day. It's coming up soon, so registration will start soon. If you can donate to it, it'd be really helpful. Just go to wpaccessibility.day/2026, and then you'll see a tab at the top for sponsors. So if you go there, you can try to donate. You can donate £10, £20, $20, $50. You can choose to be a micro sponsor with about $150, I think. Then you can, if you're a company, you can also go higher and then maybe be a bronze sponsor, a gold sponsor, and or a silver sponsor. And then you would have your logo in all of their publications. And
Is this
yeah,
website, right?
yeah, /2026, right?
Yeah. Visit event site.
Then yeah, if you just go to the become a sponsor, that's where you
Different
see all the
sponsor
details.
levels.
Yeah, the different levels and how you can sponsor. So these are the big. If you're a company, you have to be a company. Then you can sponsor on the $5,000 or $3,000 or $1,500. But then if you're like a self-employed person, you can do a micro sponsorship, so like $150 or any kind of donation you want. We accept all donations and they are tax deductible in the US because they are a 503. I can't remember the number, but basically they are a charity or a non-profit organization. So it's registered. So all of your taxes will be for your donations will be deducted. And yeah, so that's the main thing I wanted to just point out. And yeah, we should also let us know in the chat or in the comments later if you prefer Builderius
If you make it so far.
or Edge. Yeah. All right, that's it.
So yeah, just like Dave, I'm very curious if you like Builderius more or Edge, or maybe you like both of them in a way. We should definitely make a video out of this because I think it was very interesting to see both of them side by side instead of just me doing the exploration. It's more fun to do as well. So yeah.
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 All right.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Have a nice evening. And as always,